Absolute bloodbath on the marketplace, and we definitely dropped lower than I expected, and then a lot more people on the marketplace expected in the first place. Today we'll figure out what will be happening with altcoins. Are they dead, and should you be long in BTC instead at this stage? Should you be buying Bitcoin and just holding Bitcoin as it outperformed through the whole cycle? We'll also talk about alt season, whether or not it's finally happening. Maybe it's not happening because everyone still expects it and everyone still talks about it. We'll talk about the manipulation that is happening that is exactly similar to the manipulation of the previous cycle. And we'll also cover Fartcoin. The fact that this coin is at more than $1 billion market cap at this stage, and we will talk about memes in general. Are they dead, or do they have actually the chance to come back? Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and let's start. Fartcoin's market cap is over $1 billion. Carry on. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And Fartcoin also was on the late show. Report on Solana meme coin Fartcoin rising over 1 billion market cap. Absolutely crazy. Some people call it Dogecoin of this cycle. Some people say that this was just an obvious top signal and we should have been sold. Despite this fact, Fartcoin is actually doing quite well in the current dip, along with some other AI plays out there, and holders of these coins, they probably did not see the dip in the first place, which pretty much means that people were selling out of the assets and buying into these assets that are seen as strong on the marketplace at this stage. I've also seen an opinion on X of one of the crypto natives. He said that the reason Fartcoin is going up is because none of us hold it. Very funny thing, because if it were for crypto natives, they will just dump the whole thing at $200 million market cap and just switch to something else. How to position 2025.
And now those advisors are nervous because their clients are calling up saying,
I want to be in Fartcoin or something.
Exactly. Yeah. I want speculation.
Fartcoin, exactly. I want speculation. Pretty nice, right? And essentially, this is something very interesting. This was happening before the Second World War unleashed by Germany, right? In the 40s, and I would say even in the end of the 30s, right? It was the degenerate gambling out there at that day and age, right? Because of the economic conditions, because stuff was constantly inflated, stuff was constantly growing in value, and like all the professional, like doctors, all these guys, accountants, they started to gamble heavily on the stock market at that time, right? Which was very, very early at that stage, which was not that institutionalized as we have it currently. Pretty much very similar to what is crypto right now. So we're just living through something our great-grandparents lived through already. Dude in chat is up almost $50 million in Fartcoin and not selling. What kind of mental illness? This is the reason why this thing is going up. This is the reason why this thing is holding, because holders are delusional, absolutely delusional about the market cap of this coin. With a market cap of 1.13 billion, Fartcoin is now worth more than 786 companies in the Russell 3000 index. Very nice. Fartcoin gets listed on KuCoin as well, right? Also very nice. New YouTuber Basement Ron, if you missed this information, and like this coin was called like very, very early. I think at $80,000 in one of the chats that I'm in, right? $80,000 market cap, right? But I think like all of the people who were in this chart, if they bought, I do think they sold somewhere very, very early. Talking to more crypto and prove a point that crypto is worthless. In 2 days, his token hit a 240 million market cap, becoming the second most traded on-chain asset in the last 24 hours. So pretty much this guy, he was just talking about stocks, about gold and silver. He was hating on crypto. He created this coin, and crypto people just sent this coin to absolute Valhalla. And yeah, something in connection to the current correction. This is probably something that we will be doing, right? Each and every time crypto Twitter is screaming about something, the opposite is happening, right? On October, everyone was screaming October. We had very, very red first week of October. Best alt season ever. All the alts are decimated. A bunch of alts are actually at the levels that are very, very close to the levels that they've seen in the recent huge drops, like on 4th of August and 1st of November, right? And some of them, they are down, like most of them, they are down 50-60% from the highs, which is absolutely crazy if they have leverage applied for them. The good thing about this part is that even in October case, first people were screaming about October, but then October actually happened, right? And it was happening for quite some time. And I have this feeling, internal feeling, that we might be experiencing the same. Ethereum is so clearly to blame for all of this. Yeah, it's crazy that Ethereum Foundation actually sold the top on the breakout again. And it's very, very nice. Like each and every time they were selling through this year, I think they were selling for 7 times already. They were selling the exact top all the time, which definitely shows that they understand this market very, very well. Probably they have just some internal metric. Maybe just it's probably like very, very simple. They're probably just selling based on the maybe like on the amount of leverage or amount of transactions that is happening in the network, or even gas fee. Like they can just chart gas fee and at the tops just sell the ETH. It's easy. Ethereum has their own Michael Saylor. It's called Ethereum Foundation, except instead of buying they sell 100%. Ethereum BTC 1 week chart. This is what clinical depression looks like on the chart. With that said, I think the high time frame bottom is in when looking at the RSI. Keeps getting stonewalled at this local resistance. It's be like blatantly obvious when it breaks out to the upside one of these weeks. Yeah, I'm also on the bullish side that we should be going higher inversion from here. I will talk about the my review of the market in a very, very short time frame as well. We do have certain bearish scenario that still persists at this stage, right? But overall, I'm long and I'm bullish, especially after what happened. Like, guys, we have to understand each and every time before alt season, this thing is happening because they just push the asset that they are in, right? And then they don't want to buy alts out of hands of retail. Like they're not doing this. It's beneath them. Like what they're doing, they're just dropping the whole market. They can't drop BTC much because it has the ETF and Wall Street is in control, and that's why BTC is only down like 10%. But alts, they're just getting decimated like crazy, heavily, right? And they're buying alts, and then essentially after that they're doing the alt season. We might be seeing the last week down. That will just be crazy, but we'll talk about this. Liquidation heat map, I think $1 billion, $1.1 billion was liquidated in the last 24 hours. This is essentially how much was liquidated from each and every asset. Absolutely crazy. Break-in. Solana is dying after FTX whistleblower shows that they still hold 8% in secret wallets. This is $7 billion in sell pressure. This is bad. Well, this type of news, they are always appearing at the heat of the bottoms, right? And they are very, very nice bottom signals. Usually when you see something like this, it's definitely the time to buy. As you can see, it appeared 7:20 p.m. December 19, so pretty much around this time yesterday, right? I'm pretty sure that Solana was not doing very, very well at that time, and this is why this part of news essentially appeared. This is outdated information and untrue. The poster purposely censored the data to purposely mislead people. Interesting, right? Holy crap, Ansem just tabled everything. So I've been watching I've been watching after what Ansem was doing back in the end of August, and he was also crying about $40,000, which did not happen, and I was very, very vocal that he will be wrong. I tend to think that in these type of market movements, he's too emotional, right? Because the time to stable up was definitely earlier, right? And right now, well, yeah, it's a very, very short term. He definitely saved a lot of money, right? Because it was $193 and Solana dropped lower, right? But yeah, the best time is obviously to stable up at the highs. Solana was as high as $250 recently. And so sometimes in these type of moves, sometimes he's quite wrong. Well, at least he stable up and I got liquidated. BTC moderately pulls back from 1.8 to 100k. Alts moderately pull back to the bear market lows in response. Bit over dramatic, no? Yeah, this is pure manipulation. What we have to understand, guys, is that we don't move the price on altcoins. We don't do it. Market makers are the ones that move the price on altcoins because they have all the supply, right? There is limited amount of supply on the exchanges. They manipulate the price perfectly. They don't need a lot of coins. They don't need large movements in order to manipulate the prices on altcoins, especially on the ones that have leverage accessible, especially on the ones that have low market cap, 100%. It's very, very easy for them to push the price any way they want, and the only reason for them to essentially experience and execute moves like this is to liquidate as much people possible while shorting in parallel and probably having a deal with liquidity providers to take some of these liquidations for themselves, and at the same time scoop up some altcoins, because alt season is never happening when essentially retail is in control and everyone is long in. No, it's not. Alt season might be happening like from levels like this, when no one is long in, when everyone is scared, right? And everyone expecting still like a bounce and reversal. We'll see. From one point of view, they have to perform things quickly, not to give the option for a large portion of people to buy. From other point of view, not all of the bullishness is out of the marketplace at this stage. There is definitely certain bullishness present, right? Although I do think fear and greed index-wise, we definitely are at the nice levels at this stage. Coming back to our topic of meme coin, the animals are no longer cute. A bunch of animal coins got corrected heavily, right? Popcat, Chill Guy as well, which is a dog, Weave, Myra, Peanut, which is a squirrel, Goat, which is kind of a goat, but it's really like AI, Truth Terminal, right? A very interesting situation. I was kind of predicting this before, but my take was that least liquidity will be dropping and people will be selling, not in the circumstance of correction, but in the circumstance of alts outperforming and altcoin dominance surging back higher. Right now, I think something very, very interesting would be happening. So all these people that sold, right now they essentially removed the bias of back holder, right? And they will be looking at this money and this new money, and they would really look and see and essentially understand for themselves what they want to do next with this money. I would say it's a very, very low chance that they would just want to rebuy into the assets that they essentially took the profits from, right? A very interesting situation out there. I would say that obvious park spot for this money might just become AI memes and AI meme coins. We're definitely seeing this with Fartcoin and ARK, and they're just surging up in the midst of this correction and they just don't care, right? Definitely signalize that liquidity inflow is happening into these two coins. More non-obvious pick is obviously altcoins at this stage. Maybe these people, they would think that it's a bit too early for alts, but I think that to start the positioning at this stage is already quite nice. We've been through multiple ladder-like drops when people thought that we are finally bottomed and we went lower and lower and lower. I would say that we might have one last drop below us, right? But a lot of people also talking about this. So with this one, it's quite hard at this stage. I will just tell you, I will just show you what I'm doing. Of the meme coins that are on the dip over the past week, pay attention to the ones that are holding up strongest. This shows which communities have diamond-handed holders. Those coins will outperform massively in 2025. SPX is actually doing quite nice. Moga, I think, is doing quite nice as well. Giga, I do believe, is corrected heavily, right? So we're kind of seeing that Sol stuff is not doing that well. Ethereum stuff is kind of holding, right? Although like Brad went from 2 billion to 1.2 billion, which is absolutely crazy. Well, I'm still quite bearish on Solana this cycle, and I'm still sharing the take that I was sharing, that I don't think that we might be seeing $400 Solana this cycle. I would say in this type of condition, because obviously if it's like a large bull market and a crazy liquid inflows or things like that, we'll probably be see like valuation just go nuts, right? Just because this project is present on the marketplace, a lot of people know this project, right? But from product market fit wise, from how this thing was performing this cycle thus far, from what's happening thus far, like and memes out there, I do think that we might not even be seeing $400 per one Solana out there. Just interesting take, just something I want to throw out there. Moving further, either I'm just emotionally immune to dips volatility, or you guys are a bunch of pansies as tampon timmies. This isn't even a bull market dip, it's like an average correction. All of you tier T now. Tier T is essentially like inject testosterone, right? So I think that the reason he's essentially sharing something like this is because a lot of people bashing him because he was screaming alt season, alt season, and alt season, and we get a very, very nice alt season with alts down 60%. And I do think that, yeah, some people, they might be scared about like the correction, things like that, because they're new market participants, but most people might be emotionally touched because they get liquidated on leverage, right? And money is gone, right? And they were not buying the bags as Alex Becker in the bear market, like in giant amounts, and receiving free allocations from the projects that he is shilling for them to be shilled on the marketplace. So most people are in quite a different situation out there. Breaking team behind Hawk meme coin tied to Hawk to a girl sued for alleged securities law violations. 12 plaintiffs who invested in Ho, collectively experiencing a financial loss of 151k, brought the complaint forward and requested a jury trial. She has not posted on X since its launch. I think there was some news that she was like driving away in the car or something, but who cares, guys? Like, do you actually care about this? No one cares. So something interesting I wanted to show. I think one of the most performing coins out of this dip in terms of the altcoins actually was Myra. It's up like 25% out of the dip. I was comparing to other coins and they're not up these levels. It's almost like someone in size was essentially buying out. And we know that this coin is an Alex Becker list out there, right? So this is just a heads up from my end. I do believe that gaming should really catch a beat, right? Well, 70% for Beam as well. Pretty nice actually. So it's almost like actually a lot of coins they essentially did something like this. Ethereum obviously 7% because it's a low market cap. Yeah, Myra is underperforming in comparison to other coins because yeah, it's only that did 12% and Myra, for example, did 25%. Interesting thing for Myra as well is on Bybit you are capped in 25k per account if you want to loan Myra, which is absolutely like a very, very small size. If you think about that, maybe they know something about the project and maybe they essentially do things this way, right? So on Myra, I'm essentially longing. I had my long from 1.3, right, from this level. I'm not liquidated through this dip because I just added a bunch of margin and my liquidation is 0.85 right here at this stage. So I'm just longing currently. I also opened another loan around 1.1 level and liquidation is slightly higher, right? Which is only like 15% from the current levels, but they're kind of like alright to lose these funds because this is a smaller amount of money. So in general, I'm longing these coins. I also long Myra, and it's very, very interesting. Like at the bottoms, I had this thought, like just put a certain chunk of money and just enter on high leverage in a bunch of coins. And in the hindsight, it was a very, very nice thought because if this would be the bottom, this was the exact bottom call. Unfortunately, situation that some people are seeing and some people are talking about that, yeah, we're seeing nice bounce currently at this stage. Whether or not it's the bounce or the reversal is hard to say. Unfortunately, the situation that some people are seeing is us essentially dumping into the range of 85 and then have a very, very quick huge bounce from there. Some people are calling for new all-time high in January, which I do kind of agree with, right? That in January we might be seeing new all-time high. So if you're buying on spot, you should be very, very all right? It's just that I do think that the time window to be able to enter the current prices for alts should be closing quite soon, right? We'll see. I do think that we're not seeing massive buying at this stage, just because of the fact that people are looking for something like this to happen. Second option is obviously we essentially come higher from here. One of the great things that happened is BTC dominance. Remember yesterday and essentially for several days this week, I was talking that we should be reaching 59% level and reverse from there. I was wrong. I did not expect like this severity of the dump out there, which kind of like fully manipulated from my point of view. Like, it's crazy. And what's interesting is that we actually touched 60%, that we touched right here, which kind of is our resistance after we touched it right here. And we get rejected very, very nicely on BTC dominance, which means that people essentially either allocated more money into alts or sold some of the Bitcoin into alts. So yeah, we got heavy rejection of BTC dominance from this level, which is a very, very nice sign. Like BTC dominance wise, it's even higher to see here how BTC dominance will be playing out in this scenario when if we are going to BTC 85k. And that's why like BTC 85k scenario is quite hard to see from my end currently because of the things that we're seeing in BTC dominance chart. Because if BTC goes to 85k, we should probably break out and then like what? We're setting new all-time high in BTC dominance and then going lower. From my point of view, yeah, this is something that we've seen in in one of the previous cycles, right? Currently, I just don't see that. Although I do plan for this scenario as well. I do think that the tactic currently is still be playing around altcoins. I do think the tactic currently still be playing around Ethereum. AI meme coins are quite nice if you're in the trenches. Like I've seen some crazy catches today that like some guys making 100x in 2 hours by catching swarms in one of the chats that I'm in. Absolutely crazy, right? And in terms of this situation, yeah, I do think that it should be playing around Ethereum, around altcoins, and just make sure to just start low leverage positions for your alts. Right now is definitely the time. It's not like at the top. It's crazy. Like I was calling to enter 2-3x leverage at the top of my maybe at $2. Even if you were entering in $2 and you were not adding, even if you were entering with 2x and you were not adding additional margin, you would get liquidated. Absolutely crazy bloodbath on the market. I got liquidated multiple times on Myra because I was essentially entering new longs on the way down because I was trying to catch the bottom, right? And even currently, I'm sitting in like one quite high risk long, right? And if we're going lower, if we're seeing new lows, I will unfortunately get liquidated on that one again. And worst case scenario is that we are going to 0.85 on Myra, which means that I'm getting liquidated on my large loan, which won't be that funny at all, right? But overall, I do see that, yeah, we've reached this 60% level on BTC dominance. We get rejected heavily, and from this level, we essentially got our bounce on alts because the market saw that we got rejected, and people probably like leverage long to shit out of altcoins out there. If you're in profits in some leverage loans on alts, as I am on some, just put your stop losses at break even, and you will be doing very fine, very well. Because there is a high chance that if you were able to catch recent bottoms on alts, you'll be able to hold these longs through this cycle, and you will be able to increase leverage on these longs and hold these longs through the cycle as well, which is very nice situation. If you would ask me, like this is the main goal why I'm playing on leverage currently. Like I'm not leverage trader. I don't like to do it as well. The only reason I'm doing this is because my aim is to catch altcoin longs at the bottoms of the cycle and be able to hold them into the cycle as well. This is like crazy way to capitalize this cycle currently. Got liquidated a bunch of times. Well, still just trying to catch it up and playing it a bit more safely currently, right? Although the lower we go, the more risk on you should be playing this game out there. So this is the overview, guys. Thank you very much for watching this one, and stay strong. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Stay healthy and rich. Bye bye.